Hi, my name is G. This is my bike, and I live on a boat. Well, I guess it was financial. I had travelled a good part of the world for a good few years. And then I came back to the country. I was disgusted. Nothing had really changed, but the renting situation was crazy. Because I was working in other countries, I had an understanding of what other countries were being paid for what accommodation. So, I mean, I was paying, say, like a fraction of a price for a property in a nice hot climate country, you know? So it was like, and then you got sunny England. And yeah, and not only that, it's not just renting as well, it's the mortgage. So I guess it was financial, but in a way it was so I can afford to have more experiences. So I wasn't pretty much living paycheck to paycheck and all my rent just going on towards my bills and my home. I mean, I think the transitioning was easy for me because I've travelled a lot of different places, lived in a hammock for 2 years, lived on top of the roof rather than inside the building because it was half price. You got woken up by monkeys every morning, but I mean, I've travelled most continent on bike. If I could do it on a bike, I did it on a bike. You have to slow it down on everything. When you're on a boat, you can't expect things to work at a flick of a button. Things take time, boiling water and so on. But yeah, if you can slow it down and you're not used to things instantly, the space, I have everything that I need in there. It's like a studio apartment, just narrow, long. Has a boiler, has fresh water. Has a shower, kitchen, sleeping accommodation. It's just long and floats. It's more the sense of freedom as well, because we're on the Grand Union Canal and it goes all the way from London to the borders of Scotland. So that's a long stretch of the UK that you can just have a lot of freedom in, come as you go. It branches off as well, goes to Birmingham, Bristol. Oh, it hasn't been that extreme. It's only been from, I think it was Milton Keynes to Watford, which again took 5 days. And that's the locks that slow you down. Each lock, depending on how well maintained they are, because they're 200 years old, it can add like 20 to 40 minutes onto your journey. And when you've got lock after lock after lock, there's a space of 30 feet, which would take you a good half of a day to do. It's a hardcore lifestyle, but it's a good way to save some money. It is a Honda MSX 125. Currently, the type of bike it goes 60, 65 miles per hour, but the only mod I've got on it at the moment is the small little sprocket, 13-tooth sprocket, which now I can race cars. I think it just started very young as a way of transportation, but then spiraled out of control in the sense where I don't think I can do anything now that doesn't involve a bike. Well, it's going on holidays, to commuting to work, to just going out and enjoying myself. In fact, I would say it's actually more therapy than anything. I didn't do the miles, but from here, so it was Cornwall, and then there was 2 parts in Wales that I did, and then up to the Lake District, and then down again. I think it was about 1,500 miles. Well, the landscape, an example, when I was heading up north I went through a national park and there was just purple hills everywhere from the flowers just coming into the right season. And to just see that, like purple hills as far as you can see, it's more therapy than anything. You don't necessarily need a big high-performance sports bike to go on these adventures. I currently know there's 3 Facebook pages of people that are travelling around the world on these bikes. There's also a Honda C90, which is 90cc, and that's also been around the world. It doesn't necessarily have to be the winter time, but I've had my battle scars, and believe it or not, that one was 30 miles per hour, and the fastest one was 80, and I got 80 miles per hour, and I got a fractured thumb. So you don't necessarily have to be going stupidly high speeds. South Africa is on there. I don't know how I'm going to get there or what routes I'm going to take, but that's the next adventure. Invest in the bike gear for the winter times, because that's one of the reasons why I can do it all year round in minus temperatures, is because I invested in the gear that keeps me warm.